The moment a beauty sheds tears, they turn into crystal clear night pearls. A single teardrop can create one night pearl. They are treated like machines in a factory, whipped and abused. Under such agony, they shed priceless night pearls relentlessly. Today, let us explore this newly released fantasy film together. If you like it, do not forget to follow and leave a like. It is said that a tribe of merfolk lives in the East Sea. Among them, the female merfolk are the most precious because their bodies can produce night pearls. The Kunlun sect leader covets these priceless female merfolk. He led the Kunlun disciples to slaughter all the male merfolk, leaving behind only these valuable mermaids. Then, he threw them into a water pool. Each one had a funnel hanging around their neck. Then he used a divine whip to lash them. When the mermaids could no longer bear the pain, they would weep. Each tear would transform into a shimmering night pearl. In truth, what the Kunlun leader desires most are not these night pearls. It is the tears of the mermaid princess. Legend says that consuming them grants eternal youth, but unfortunately, the princess had already been secretly sent to the human realm by the tribal elder. Now, the entire Kunlun sect is searching for her whereabouts. This is because the sect leader has been struck by an incurable disease. If he does not obtain the mermaid princess's tears quickly, I fear he will soon depart from this world. To cure his terminal illness, he actually committed such atrocities. He is lower than a beast. Even his own son condemns such inhumane behavior. The sect leader looks at his kind-hearted son with great worry. If he were to take over as the leader in the future, he would surely lead the Kunlun sect to ruin. Shiji secretly rejoices, mistakenly believing the position of the new leader must be hers. In reality, the master only wants her to assist his son. Shiji outwardly agrees to take good care of her junior brother. Yet the moment she turns away, she shows her true defiance. As night falls, Tianming brings a pot of good tea to attend to his father. Actually, he just wants to plead for the poor mermaids, but his father lectures him on the principle of survival of the fittest, refusing to release the imprisoned mermaids. Furthermore, in his eyes, merfolk are just cruel, cold-blooded animals. He even argues that he is acting on behalf of heaven. Tianming, in his urgency, refutes his father for oppressing the weak. How is his cold-blooded, ruthless behavior different from those bandits? After hearing this, his father vomits blood and dies on the spot. Shiji hears the commotion and barges in. She claims that Tianming killed the sect leader. She immediately orders him to be thrown into the dungeons. Shiji's evil smile reveals that this was all her doing. Being falsely imprisoned, Tianming is furious. He vents his frustration against the cell door. Later, a young junior brother comes to tell him some news. Shiji has now taken over the position of sect leader. Only now does Tianming realize that his father was likely killed by Shiji. He begs the young junior brother to let him out. He needs to find evidence that Shiji murdered his father. He searched the entire room but found nothing. Only a pot of incense in the cabinet was somewhat pungent. Just as he was about to take it, he was spotted by the senior brothers. Even if he found proof, no one would listen to him. Seeing his explanation was useless, he hurried to escape. He then hid the incense on the rafters. The senior brothers chased him for a full day and night. Wu Gui, who is secretly in love with Shiji, is determined to catch him to win favors. A dozen people took turns attacking him. Finally, Wu Gui struck him from behind. Just at this critical moment, a mermaid emerged from the water. She is Xiaoman, the princess of the merfolk tribe. Her shimmering fishtail left everyone speechless in awe. Xiaoman twirled gracefully as she slowly descended. Upon touching the ground, she transformed into human form. The Kunlun disciples' eyes gleamed as if they had discovered a treasure. They swarmed toward her like hornets. Xiaoman clapped her palms, unleashing ice arrows to attack. In an instant, she struck the group of men down to the ground. Tianming initially intended to thank Xiaoman for saving his life, but she recognized the Kunlun sect jade pendant at his waist. Xiaoman assumed he was exactly like those other Kunlun disciples. She vowed to kill him to avenge the merfolk tribe. Under pressure, Tianming puts on a tragic performance. He claims his own father was also murdered by the Kunlun sect, and that he has been biding his time as a sleeper agent in the sect, waiting for the perfect moment to avenge his father. The innocent Xiaoman believes him completely. She even begins to feel sympathy for his plight. Xiaoman happens to need someone to accompany her to the Kunlun sect, and so, two star-crossed souls set off on a path of revenge. The snow seems to fall in their honor, cheering them on. On the way, they run into three thugs robbing an old lady's fruit stall. Tianming draws his sword, fully intent on dragging them to the authorities. To his surprise, one of the ruffians starts bragging. He claims his big brother is a cold-blooded killer who would not blink at murder. Tianming takes a look and realizes this is not a guy to be messed with. He has no choice but to silently turn and walk away. That evening, they encounter a small beggar. The kind-hearted Tianming immediately buys him fresh meat buns. Looking at this compassionate man before her, Xiaoman begins to develop feelings for him, because she too is a kind-hearted mermaid. Whenever she sees others in trouble, she always extends a helping hand. The crowd watching nearby praises their noble deed. But unexpectedly, a waiter tosses a bucket of cold water on them. Upon touching the water, Xiaoman immediately turns back into a mermaid. The eyes of the men around them light up instantly. They all want to make Xiaoman cry, so that they can collect the priceless night pearls that fall from her eyes. Gazing at these greedy humans, Xiaoman feels both indignant and wronged. Just as a tear is about to escape her eye, the mob lunges forward to snatch it. With a swift kick, Tianming sends them flying. Then he sweeps Xiaoman up and flees the scene. After they reach the inn, Xiaoman reveals her secret to Tianming. As it turns out, she was born unable to shed tears, and therefore, she cannot produce night pearls. The next day, they come to a clothing shop. Xiaoman instantly falls in love with the store's shining golden treasure. The proprietress heaps praise on the young lady's impeccable taste. Only Tianming's heart is bleeding internally. This piece likely costs hundreds of taels of silver, but seeing Xiaoman wearing it, looking like a celestial fairy, he grits his teeth and buys the dress. Afterward, he introduces her to a colorful Kongming lantern. Xiaoman is deeply saddened after hearing his explanation. It turns out her mermaid clan has lived in the pitch-black ocean for ages, relying entirely on night pearls to illuminate their underwater palaces. Now, their only source of light has been stolen by greedy humans. Ever since Tianming learned of her true background, he has taken diligent care of her every day. He even went out of his way to buy an umbrella to shield her from the wind and rain. For the first time in her life, Xiaoman receives a gift and twirls with joy. After traveling for several days, the pair arrives at a cottage. Tianming had intended to find his senior uncle here for help, but learns that Shiji beat him to it. His senior uncle's fate remains uncertain. Just as they are about to leave, they hear an odd noise coming from the floorboard. They pry it open and discover a martial arts manual, along with a 9-turn soul returning pill. Tianming immediately heads to the riverbank to cultivate his powers. An energetic burst from his technique accidentally sends a few fish flying. Xiaoman glares at him fiercely. These fish are her own kin, and he dared to kill fish right before her eyes. Afterward, the two come across Kunlun disciples ganging up on someone. Xiaoman casts a protective shield to cover the victim. Tianming uses his newly honed skills to defeat them one by one. The person they saved later reveals a secret to them. He is Langxing, a disciple of the Five Poisons sect. His senior brother had secretly stolen the Five Poisons jar and gifted it to the Kunlun sect. When Langxing discovered this, he went to Kunlun Mountain attempting to recover it. However, the Kunlun sect tried to bribe him with a box of night pearls. He refused their offer. That is why the new Kunlun sect master is desperate to hunt him down. Now, the three of them join forces to return to Kunlun Mountain for revenge. Xiaoman collapsed halfway. Parched and weary, the group had no choice but to take shelter at an inn. They eventually discovered she had been poisoned by the Kunlun sect. Tianming climbed the cliffs through the night to search for herbs. He spent 3 days and nights soaking them in water. Finally, he succeeded in purging the poison from Xiaoman. Later, Mainyang at the inn was taken hostage. Langxing, like a hero, saved her using his 5 poisoned serpents. It was love at first sight for Mainyang. She insisted on repaying her savior with her heart and soul. Langxing, flustered, tried to make a quick escape. Yet at that moment, Mainyang revealed her true colors. It turned out she was being coerced by the new Kunlun sect leader. She was forced to be their spy. The new leader struck back immediately after receiving word. Dozens of men set fire to the inn throughout the night. Fortunately, Tianming discovered them just in time. He rescued Xiaoman, and they fled the scene. Now, their band of avengers has grown to include Mainyang. The group rode through the night toward Mount Kunlun. Suddenly, vine monsters appeared out of thin air. They entangled them in their grasp. In the nick of time, Mainyang took out her pipa. The shrill melody of the strings drove the monsters away. After enduring such hardships, they finally reached the Kunlun sect. Little did they know the new leader had laid an ambush. A fierce battle broke out between both sides. Seeing the Kunlun disciples falling one by one, the new leader soared into the air like a great penguin. Xiaoman hurriedly brandished her umbrella to block the attack. They pushed their internal energy to the limit in a fight to the death. Exhausted, they were both sent flying several meters back. Realizing defeat was near, The leader resorted to dirty tricks. He revealed the truth about Tianming's father killing the merfolk. Xiaomen was shattered to learn her beloved had deceived her for so long. The ruthless leader seized the opportunity to attack Maniang. Langsing threw himself in the way, risking his life to protect her. Finally, with the help of the junior disciples, they reached the prison. But Xiaoman could no longer trust Tianming. She was bent on killing him to avenge her people. Just then, desperate cries echoed from the dungeon. It turned out all the merfolk were imprisoned there. After saving them, they were once again blocked by the leader. Zhao Man unleashed her heavenly flower technique in another brutal fight. After hundreds of rounds, all fighters fell to the ground. Only the two of them remained for a final showdown. In the end, Xiaomen was struck down. The leader raised his blade, ready to pierce her heart. Tianming flew in and took the blow for her. Seeing his beloved in danger, he erupted with fury. A deafening roar emanated from his throat. In an instant, he blew everyone away. With his final breath, Tianming sought forgiveness on his father's behalf. Yet, he knew the loss of the merfolk could never be undone. He vowed that if he were to be reborn, he would surely repay Xiaomen. After his heartfelt confession, he succumbed to his wounds. Xiaomen wept as the first tear fell from her eye. It transformed into a radiant merfolk tear, floating in the air. Then, it released a spiritual essence into Tianming's nostrils. Instantly, he jolted back to life. Regrettably, Xiaomen had turned into a small, iridescent fish. She had infused all her life energy into Tianming. He was reborn, as if a deity had descended upon the world. The wicked leader, unrepentant to the end, was struck down by the spiritual power. Ultimately, Tianming assumed the mantle of the Kunlun sect leader. Langsing and Maniang became a happy, loving couple. The remaining merfolk prepared to take Xiaoman's physical form back to the East Sea, to cultivate back into human form. Having survived such a great tribulation, they wanted nothing more to do with the human realm. Years later, Langxing and Maniang had several children, yet Tianming remained alone, missing Xiaoman deeply. As he turned away in loneliness, he spotted a beautiful woman standing on the bridge. This fantasy romance story has finally come to a perfect end. Lastly, please help us out by clicking follow and like. We hope you all find your true love and cherish your beloved. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.